You know what I'm saying? Alright, cool. The last thing is, since all of you guys are here, it's very important that you network with one another. So if the person next to you, you don't know them, get to know them. Someone's sleeping, but whoever. I'll excuse him. Anyway, back to my point. Get to network with each other so you can share ideas, you can bounce back and you can network, and then you never know, you can find JV partners here in this room that can take your business and your life to the next level. Some productivity tips, yeah? What kills most of our time, or when you're starting out online and you haven't made like $10,000, $20,000 months, what you're usually doing is killing all of your time. And it comes under the topic of productivity. So you're probably checking emails all day long, reading sales letters. Who relates? No? Only this guy. Okay, cool. So, yeah, you want to get out of that habit, and first thing I'll advise is just unsubscribe from every email newsletter. If you know that you're someone that gets sucked in, like I used to get sucked into buying everything, and I never had no money, so I used to go and beg and borrow to get the money, and then I used to buy everyone's stuff, and yeah. So unsubscribe from everyone except for Saj's. You can subscribe to mine as well. Anyway, that's a different topic. You want to be focusing on one thing at a time. They done this research at, I think it was King's University, and they said that multitasking is a myth, and that people that smoke weed have got actually more higher IQ than people that multitask. So if you think you're a good multitasker, that crap don't exist. So stop multitasking, focus on one activity at a time. Yeah. No, that was true though. No? You want to buy some? And the last one is, you need to work in focused blocks of time. Peter Drucker, time management guru, productivity guru, he said that basically how the mind works is, all day, the body, the mind, whatever you want to call it, goes up and down in waves. Okay, so what happens is, you're only productive for about 2 to 3 hours of the day. So if you're working about 6 hours a day, that's not productive, and you won't get any work done. So when the body goes up, like basically certain times of the day, you need to figure it out when you've got more energy. So for example, 10 o'clock you wake up, 10 o'clock, first hour, what you need to do is have your own personal time, hour power, whatever you want to call it. Have that me time before all of this other external stuff, so that you grow yourself internally, and then everything else becomes so much easier to comprehend, to take you to the next level. Once you've got that, you need to figure out what your energy points are, and how you do that is different times of the day. You know when you have high energy. It's like, I've always got high energy because I'm probably on Red Bull. You shouldn't be drinking Red Bull too much. Anyway, what happens is, when the body goes up, when you find out what your high energy time is, that solid block of time, you need to use that to create. That energy is basically the most powerful energy that we have in us, and that's comes from somewhere around here. I don't know, whatever it is, but it's basically willpower. So you want to use that willpower to create new habits. Got it? Yeah. All right, good.
How is this guru, time management?
Peter Drucker.
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 Is there a specific title on the book?
No, he's got so many books. Just Google him, Peter Drucker. And the last thing is...
Okay, I just want to quickly jump in, guys, because what he said there is so powerful. You see, my 3 hours of power, or whatever you call it, used to be at around, I think it was around 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 or something like that, is when I was the most active. But when I first started, during that time, my activity was doing my emails. Okay, so during the time when I've got the most energy in the day, what I was doing is I was doing my emails. And then after about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever, when I had done all of my emails, so I got so many emails, and now obviously I don't do it myself anymore, but when I was doing it myself, I would be so drained, and then I have all of these other things on my to-do list, and they would just take forever to get done. Something which can be done in an hour would probably take me a week. Now, So what you really want to do is basically when you figure out when that segment of time is when you've got the most amount of energy, you want to focus on high leverage activities, okay? So rather than do something that's going to drain your energy like emails or anything else like that, you think, okay, this is the time when I'm most focused, most active, what can I do that's going to give me maximum leverage, okay? Whether that's telling my outsourcer to put 10 videos up for me, managing him, and doing things that are going to produce results, rather than doing something that's going to drain your energy. It's so important, made a huge difference in my life. That's why I thought I'd quickly come and jump in there, yeah? So
Cheers, Saj.
yeah, cool, man.
I'll pay you later.
Yeah.
And the last bit is basically there's blocks of time they've worked out. I don't know who worked it out. Even Pagan worked it out. And you need to focus in blocks of 60, 60, 30. Okay? When you work for about 5 hours in a row or even 2 hours, your brain actually doesn't comprehend what you're learning or what you're implementing. So you need to work in blocks of 60 minutes, and then 30 minutes. So it works like this. First 50 minutes, you focus on high leverage activities. Then the next 10 minutes, you meditate, you do some exercise, you walk around, you get some fresh air. Then you do that again. 50 minutes, you work hard. And then 10 minutes, you take that relaxation thing. And then for the next 30 minutes, you just completely cut off from business, from whatever you're doing. And you'll find out that that's what re-energizes your whole body. And then you can work all day if you want, or you can work a couple of hours a day if you want, like me.
I'm just going to jump in. Anyone heard of the book 4 Hour Work Week or whatever?
Yeah.
I haven't read it, by the way, but I just think of, I kind of guess what it's talking about, working 4 hours a week. And this is the only way that you're going to do less and achieve more, is to use that time when you're most energized to do high leverage activities, okay? The more you do that, something that's going to take you a week, you can probably do in a day, literally. Now I do things, literally, I used to do things that used to take me 4 to 5 weeks to get done, which could have been done in a day, and I'm not exaggerating here, guys. But the only reason it used to drag on, because I used to do a little bit, go and get sidetracked somewhere else, do a little bit, another day, go and get sidetracked somewhere else, and it just wasted months and months of my life, even years of my life, I would say, yeah? But as soon as I figured this thing out, and it takes habit. You can't just think, oh, okay, I'm going to do it today and it's going to be perfect. You need to get yourself into that habit. So do it for a week, do it for 2 weeks, and I guarantee you your productivity, like I said, guys, what we're doing here is not giving you the whole boring spiel on personal development, but just the nuggets that you need, yeah? So this is the nugget you need for productivity, is to focus your time in these slots that he's saying. So 50 minutes, 10-minute break, 50 minutes, 10-minute break. Because the thing is, most people, when they're on the computer, they're zoned in for hours. Once again, drain of energy. You don't want to do that. The computer, it emits all of these EMF radiations and stuff, or whatever it does. It's a complete drain of energy. So really, the wealthiest people online that I know, including myself and everybody else, my friends, my personal colleagues or whatever, these guys are working like 2 hours a day or something, you know, and they're making the most amount of money. So why is that? You have to think of yourself, what are these people doing? Why is that? Because they get these foundational concepts like time management, productivity and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you take regular breaks when you're on the computer. And this is so important. Some of you might be thinking, oh, but this is basic, but do you actually implement this, you know? Ask yourself. And if you do implement it, how successful are you? Why are you in this room? Okay? So once you start implementing these things, you'll see your results go through the roof. And it needs habit. It needs habit because we're just habit creatures, you know? The human being is, is trained through habit. And make sure you do that, because I used to be on the computer for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours. I am still sometimes like that. Like I said, I'm not perfect, noise shy. None of us in this room are perfect, guys, okay? Don't put us on a pedestal. We're not perfect, right? But we know how to make a shitload of money, and we can just tell you what we do to make all of that money, you know? So time management, key. Take regular breaks. Make sure you freshen yourself up. If you was to do something like meditation, you're just going to supercharge your power and your ability to do all of this stuff. So implement that, Shaq. So
yeah, the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is it's all about implementation. Learning something has got no freaking value or whatever. It doesn't add to your life if you don't have the ability to take action on it. Okay, so the concept of speed of implementation. Anyone heard of that before? So it's basically what Ibn Pagan talks about in Get Altitude, and he says that when you learn the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, or people that make a lot of money and people that are just wannabe entrepreneurs and struggling and whatnot, is basically how fast they implement what they learn. So it's very important that you really grasp this concept of speed of implementation. So when you learn something, you don't just sit back and say, yeah, I know it. Yeah, one day when I'm homeless or some shit, I'll go and implement it. When you learn something, it's very important that you take massive action on it and you freaking do the thing. You just take action on what you learn. So that's speed of implementation. And if you guys think that you're not taking action because of fear and all of this stuff, go read a bunch of books or something. Get into meditation, do some yoga, which I've started, which is sick. Bikram yoga with my friends over there. But those kind of stuff really calm your mind down, and then you can focus your energies on what really needs to get done. And yeah, that's my take on self-development.
Another thing about speed of implementation now, guys, if somebody calls me up, I get so many projects lined up, people calling me up all day, emailing, Saj, I got this, I got that. As soon as I see something, and I think, oh, that sounds interesting, have a quick 10-minute, 15-minute call with that person or whatever the project is, look into it, focus for 15 minutes, half an hour. If I think, oh, this is worth doing, straight away I implement it, straight away. And I never used to do this before. I used to get all of this idea, oh, this idea is good, write it down, oh, this idea is good, write it down, this idea is good, write it down, implement maybe a bit of this, bit of that. As soon as I started implementing this through Eben Pagan stuff, that's why I learned it from personally. Learned a lot of things from that guy. Basically, speed of implementation just once again makes you successful a lot quicker. So what you're going to learn here today, obviously we're going to try to help you implement it as fast as we can. That's why you've got your laptops. But even that is not enough, you know. When you go home, don't think, take a break or take a chill or go away for a week or whatever. Start implementing immediately, every single day. Make sure you use the productivity thing you spoke about. Make sure you use the things I told you about in the beginning, believing that it's real now, seeing the end goal. And these simple concepts, guys, you put them all together, you're going to see powerful results.
One final thing that I'd like to say is that no matter what you're doing right now, always have that feeling of gratitude. So every day you wake up with an attitude of gratitude rocking. Personally, I've got a good friend, she's actually over there, that I do my gratitude with every single day. And it's actually proven that if you do it for 30 days, you become 25% happier. So I'd advise everyone, just be grateful for everything around you. Even if you've got so much crap going on in your life, if you're grateful, then you're rich from the inside. Once you're rich from the inside, then you can focus on exactly what you want to create, and the rest is easy. Fire away.
If you have 5 things you're grateful for the previous day, every day, it keeps you on track. This is a really quick thing. 5 things half day after day.
That's really a good point. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, sorry, I totally forgot to mention this. I had it written down on my notes. Gratitude every morning and every night. I was on anybody here heard of Jordan Belfort? Yeah, some of you guys. Okay, just to let you know who Jordan Belfort is. He is Leonardo DiCaprio is making a film on his life story at the moment. This was a guy who was on a webinar the other day that I was watching. This guy made $1 billion in sales in 1 year. He was earning $50 million or something a month. He was a Wall Street guy, right? So I had a brokerage firm. He was making a killing. And he basically made a shitload of money. He knew how to make money. Jordan Belfort, yeah? Jordon, Belfort, Belfort. He's got a website. You can check it out. So I was on a webinar basically with him the other day, and this guy basically Wall Street making $1 billion in sale every year. Most importantly, all of the people who directly work with him all are on 250, 300, 400k a year directly from the learnings that they got from him. So he realized his skill is not in making money, but helping other people and teaching them how to be rich. Yeah, and he did this on a mass scale, bigger than anybody I personally know, because we all go to these personal development seminars and stuff. How many people actually come out and start being the person they want to be straight away? This is the one guy that I know who, and this is all documented, who every single person he trains becomes wealthy. And people who work with him, they become rich, whether they're in sales, whether they're working for his company, or whether they're going and doing whatever he's telling them to do. His system works, and it works for everybody who works and works with it and works with him. So Jordan Belfort, anyway, I was on a webinar with him the other day, and just so you know, like I was saying, $1 billion in sales in a year, 50 million a month, and then what he did is he went to jail for like 22 months because I think he tried to do something, tax loopholes or something, funnel all the money to Switzerland, so he got caught, and he went to jail. And then he was on drugs as well. So these guys lived the life, you know, which is why Leonardo DiCaprio is buying the film, because it's a cool character to play, right? So basically, he made all of this money, and he went to jail. In jail, he wrote a book. Okay, he's never written a book before, but he thought, okay, I'm going to write a story. As soon as he had that thought, I want to write a story of my life. Speed of implementation. Went to the library in the jail, found a book on how to write books, and basically started writing it. And now, as soon as he came out, that script was his agent took that script into Hollywood. There was a bidding war between Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio on who wants to buy this script because they both wanted to do this film. And then Martin Scorsese is directing the film, and you know, he's basically sold the rights to him, and Leonardo is going to be playing Jordan. And basically, anyway, the point is, this guy is a super big shot, right? He knows how to train people to get money. And I was on a webinar with him the other day, and the host of the webinar asked him, Jordan, like, what's one of the things that you do every single day? And I think something like along the lines of every morning and every night he spends 20 minutes in complete gratitude. And this is what he teaches everybody to do. So meaning when he wakes up in the morning, before doing anything or before waking up, turning on the computer or anything, he spends 20 minutes just being grateful for whatever he's grateful for in his life, you know. The small things of, you know, I'm grateful I've got a house, I've got food on my table, I'm grateful I've got a wife, I've got family, I'm grateful I've got clothes, you know, from little things, but really feeling it, and the attitude of gratitude. Once again, feeling is the power. The more you learn how to feel and use your internal powers of feeling and visualization, the quicker you get to success. So this is just you can all Google him, you've all got your computer, you can all Google him and read about him. So this is really powerful stuff. Attitude of gratitude. Thank you for mentioning it, Shaq, because I forgot.
Anyway, that's me done for this.
Okay, so yeah, basically we've got 5 minutes now, guys. We're going to take some questions. This was just an intro, basically, just to get you warmed up for the day ahead, and then we're going to go straight into the meat. So if you've got any questions, we've got about 5 minutes before the first break. We'll take some questions very quickly.
Yes, because I'm much into these development programs, I understand that the most powerful thing that everyone should develop in the first place, before doing anything else, is develop a detachment from the mind. This is an advanced concept that Zen masters, yoga masters, Deepak Chopra teaches. So I would just like to tell this to people. Some personal development programs say stop the thoughts, you know? But when you stop the thought, you depress it back to the subconscious, it comes back more powerful, more powerful. So it's a good idea to be a witness, you know? The first thing you should do in your life is to become a witness, identify with the witnesses.
Can I just comment on that,
Yes.
Charles Lampos has just mentioned a very advanced spiritual concept. Like, this isn't a spiritual seminar, by the way, but we're just giving you... No, but this is it's very relevant. The reason I'm saying it is basically detachment, which is what Deepak Chopra, and it's a real life concept. If you're sitting in this room and you're thinking, I need to make money, you know? I need to make money. This technique has to work for me. It has to work for me. You're really attached to the technique. And what you're doing is you're wasting so much energy on being attached to something that isn't even real, okay? What are you going to do with the money at the end of the day? Are you going to take YouTube and your laptop with you when you pass away, you know, into heaven or wherever you're going to go or whatever? So this is an advanced spiritual concept. The only reason I'm mentioning it is because you just mentioned it, and it's something I live by, and I didn't want to get too heavily spiritual on you guys. But basically, the way I think, and I'll just tell you my personal example, I don't care about anything. Yeah, I'm living in a nice house, a lot of money, nice cars, everything. But at the end of the day, I could go tomorrow and live in a hut. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I'm completely not attached to anything. And you can't really become like this, I personally think, just by reading a book and thinking about it. I personally think the only way you're going to get the true grasp of detachment is through meditation and through prayer or spiritual practices or whatever you do to really become a detached person and still be able to act efficiently in the world. So that's the concept of detachment, basically. Don't be attached to anything, but still do everything 100%. But just know, really, what is the reason you want this for? What does it really mean to you, you know? What really means something to you is something a lot deeper. If you look in, everybody looks within themselves, you'll see that, you know, are you comfortable with having nothing? Are you comfortable with the way you are now? If you can get to that state and really be like that, then you can do whatever you want. So thank you for mentioning that. Detachment. If you guys want to know more about that, I think Deepak Chopra writes about that stuff, and all kinds of spiritual people write about it. So you had a recommendation, right?
Yes.